So let's go ahead and set that up. So it's going to be ground here, and I could have shortened up the wires slightly. Oh, you always want to hold ground a little bit more with the soldering iron, because usually the ground plane is all over the flight controller or any board, and it acts like a heat sink. So the heat dissipates and it takes a bit more heat to actually heat up that pad correctly. So I'm just shortening the tip of the wires here. So the next one down was going to be 5 volts because our receiver takes 5 volts here. Alright, there we go. And that pad right there is going to be our S bus, which is this one right here. So I want to make sure I don't touch anything or burn anything. So here's S bus, just double check. Alright, so it's really far away from me. Okay, and now we have all of them into place. So now we have our receiver connected. We also have our camera connected. What's left is our video transmitter, and it's right here, and it's going to go on this side right there. So let's go ahead and start on that. Alright, so looking at the documentation, our first one is called VTX, which is going to be for the video. So let's go ahead and set that up, which is usually the yellow wire, almost always the yellow wire on your video transmitter. The next one is going to be TX3. You don't have to connect this, but for mine, I know it's going to be the blue one here. So we're going to go ahead and set that up, which is called data on Rush FPV for some reason. I don't know if all of them say that. Just double check we didn't bridge. Nope, no bridging. Next one over is going to be ground. Ground's always black, and we have to hold it a little bit longer. Okay. And the last one obviously should be 9 volts. So if you ever get a flight controller with 9 volts, that's really nice because your video transmitter will love you for that. And it also reduces the chances of you having some sort of weird lines from the noise coming from the ESC. So overall, it gives you better video feed. So now like this, our flight controller is complete, and we can actually move it to the side because we don't need it till the last part where we just plug it in to the ESC. So now we're going to go ahead and get started on the ESC and the motors here. Now the first thing, what I really like with this frame, it has this cutout. And it has in mind that you're going to be putting a low ESR capacitor, which is what we're doing here. And especially with this stack, we also do have the holes and the low ESR capacitor provided for us. So here what we can see is this is the negative side of the capacitor, and it's going to go to the minus sign here. And the side that doesn't have anything will go to the positive. Now, if we put this in correctly just like that, and we solder that into place, we can see that that's not going anywhere. And another thing to keep in mind is you do not want these touching the carbon fiber, because if they do, you short circuit and you can fire your whole thing. So just be very, very